So you played with Shirley Scott a little bit?
I played with Shirley Scott a little bit, and I also played with Trudy Pitts.
Okay.
And I've learned a lot from them in terms of playing just musical, just playing, like letting the music dictate what to play as opposed to like forcing everything. Because I was young the times I played with Shirley, and it was more so with her playing piano. I know she did a lot of records playing organ. But I would play in this trio with her and Arthur Harper, and I would usually be filling in for like Bobby Dorman, Mickey Roker. I would be filling in for Mickey.
Yeah.
And I was young, and I was a little bit rambunctious.
Sure.
Shirley would be like, don't do that, and I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
It was like I remember the bass, but Arthur Harper had this really unique way of playing the bass. When he would solo, he would really lose you because he had this unique way of playing, the way he approached rhythm. It was so much space, and it was like, if time was here, he'd be like, people do that, it's like,
yeah.
So it's like I'd try to play under him, and I'd end up flipping the beat around, and she'd start him, don't play, just listen to him. I said, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm listening after weeks and weeks, and I started to hear exactly what he was doing. And that taught me a lesson too about spaces. Like, you don't always have to be under everybody all the time. Sometimes let guys play a certain way, let them go a little bit, and then join them when you feel exactly what it is. You don't have to try to guide your way all the time.
Sure. Yeah.
Let the music speak a little bit, listen to what's happening, and then apply yourself to it, Shirley was incredible. I did a record with Tim Warfield. I think it's a crisscross recording. It's called One for Shirley. It was kind of like a dedication to Shirley, because we all learned a lot from Shirley. Tim Warfield and then Terrell Stafford and myself, we all learned so much just playing with her. And then, she'd make a lot of profound statements. You'd just be like, oh, okay. With Shirley, I was very quiet. I wouldn't say much. And that's what a lot of young musicians, that's the problem that young musicians have now. They tend to say too much.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you just have to shut up and listen to what somebody has to say.
That's right. Especially when you're new in the band, or it's a project you're doing.
And if you're working with somebody that has 900 million records on such and such, and you're playing that same thing under, you're playing that vibe under, it's like you have to make sure that you're respecting the music.
Yeah.
That's what I tell students all the time. Never sacrifice the music. I don't care what it is, And you're not always going to sound your best. You're not always going to be in situations where you get to show off.
Mm-hmm.
I told a lot of guys when I ran a jam session for 15 years, guys would sign my list and say, "Oh, can you bring me up with this guy, with that guy, and I don't want to come up with a singer," because I said, "You're going to come up however I bring you up."
Yeah.
I said a lot of them, when the singers would come up, I would play with the singers because I like playing ballads.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'll play the ballad.
Mm-hmm.
A ballad is about passion. There is no right or wrong way to play it. It's just passion.
Mm-hmm. I was always taught the song comes first.
The song comes
no matter
first.
what style of music it is.
Yes, sir.
The song's the most
song
important
is
thing.
first.
Yeah.
That's everything.
Because no one's going to care if the song's not that good, but you're playing all these chops. And,
Exactly. Exactly.
Tell me a little bit about Bootsy Barnes.
Oh, boy. Wow. Bootsy. Okay. Well, I met Bootsy. I was like 16 years old the first time he called me. And I worked with Bootsy like pretty much all my life, from then on up to now. I haven't played with him. I don't think he calls me as much anymore, but I worked with him pretty much all my life, professional life. Bootsy is an incredible musician. You talk about somebody that knows, that's kind of like, he's an encyclopedia of all these songs. Like, he taught me like all these songs. And you know how drummers, a lot of times if you're young, you don't know something, you guys will be like, oh, you'll hear it. No worries.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of that with Bootsy. But I mean, he turned me on to, a lot of like Kenny Dorham tunes and Tommy Tarantino tunes and some obscure tunes, and a lot of Lee Morgan stuff, and then I remember the first time I played with him, I was like 16, he's like, you got any mallets? This tune, he'd be like, this is a bolero, where's your mallets at? I was like, mallets? I didn't know anything about any mallets. I didn't know anything about mallet playing or anything like that. At that age, I'm like, I just got a pair of drumsticks. He's like, oh no, you gotta play, it's more than just playing, sticks all the time. It's just different things in music. There's different subtleties, Some songs, like he actually showed me a lot of tunes where it was just, you know, a simple groove that you play through the whole song. You know, if you're playing like a boogaloo. Song, you know,
yeah,
just
nice.
a groove, it's a nice groove.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, don't worry about playing so much all the time. Just try to groove and enjoy the groove sometimes. Because I think as a drummer, speaking from a drummer point of view, get away from that so much because you're constantly trying to, you know, impress yourself or impress other people. And it's just about enjoying the music. And the simple things in life are the best things.
Yeah.
The things that are free are the best things.
Absolutely. Yeah. I studied with Daniel Glass, and Daniel always told me our job is to get people moving. Whether it's tapping their foot or dancing or shaking their head.
That's
you know,
it.
We got to get people moving.
You know, the biggest compliment is when you play a groove, a nice simple groove, and whoever you play with turns around and smiles at you. Because if you make them feel good with the groove, it's like, that's everything. You know?
Yeah. You're home.
So you got this, and then whatever else you can add to it is okay. But first, get that.
Right. Yeah, make it feel good.
Right.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to teach too with kids, right? Like
Very
make
hard.
things feel good.
Well, you know what? We have this. The whole thing with me now, with Western civilization, is like music is so much about competition all the time. We always go, oh, this guy sounds better than this, you know, and everything's about flash. When you look at more like Eastern cultures, if you look at like Indians and Africans, for example, they come up like they play, it's part of life, it's a way of life. You know, they play a drum to praise God, they play a drum for the birthday, they play a drum, you know, before they eat, you know, it's like everything for us is like, oh, did you hear this guy's playing like that? And it's, you know, he's playing 4 there, then he's playing in 7 there, then he's playing in that. Everything is one!
Yeah.
Everything is one.
Yeah.
They have a different perception of music, which is why they play it so well. And I'm not really talking down about our society because I like classical music as much as the next person, and I like all the things. But sometimes we have to have a different approach or a different attitude, in my opinion. And a lot of these kids, they have that. They just think, you know, it's just competition or it's just chops. I got to get this so I can get that. And it's like sometimes just think about groove. This groove is everything.
Yeah, man, it is.
Groove is everything.
Yep. What's your opinion on rebounding? What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know because I don't really focus so much on the rebound. Like I know, like Jojo Mayer is he's the king of those kind of things. And
Yeah, I know you talked about it at the Philly Drum Project. That's why I'm curious to.
well, for me, I think I do a lot of my playing especially when I improvise. There's a lot of multiple stroke stuff. It's like, but mainly double strokes. I'm not so much into like the techniques, the lower thing with the drum and the stick. That's never really been my thing. I just kind of play, and I think that the best technique is something that works for you.
Right.
It doesn't matter how it looks to somebody else, or I'm not so much into the German thing or the French thing. I just play whatever feels good. And rebounding, I mean, I think I might have been talking about that with the cymbal.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys are doing the molar thing. My friend Jeff Hamilton, that's a big thing part of it. He talks about that a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and this is fine. This doesn't work for me. I believe in playing more wrist, which is because it was how I was taught. And then when you play more wrist like that, I think you can play quarter notes.
Yeah.
Like me, if you're doing the motor thing, that's fine if you're playing. But as soon as you play fast, and you can do that fast, but you can't. It's hard to play quarter notes like that for me. So for me, I can play. And what I guess I do is I use my fingers to facilitate some of that wrist movement.
Right.
But I don't believe in dropping the stick or burying the stick, you know. There's some guys like this, but I want you to play every. It's just the way I was brought up, and I always feel I tell guys play. You know, every drum I've watched, I've always seen that. In most cases, like Art Blakey and they play. I didn't see so much.
So how do you get your tempo that fast when you're playing wrist?
It's do it over and over and over and over again.
Okay. Yeah.
Every day, spend some time, spend some time working your feet up. Play as fast as you can when it's being clean. Play as fast as you can as long as it's clean and it feels even.
Yeah.
Work with that each day, but each day you should try to play something fast. Start out slow and try to play something fast. Play as fast as you can, as long as you can, as long as it's even. You spend a little bit of time with that every day, you're fine. And when I played with Joey, that's all we did was play fast. We played really fast when we were young. Just everything was ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the Miles Davis influence, because we would hear something like walking.
Yeah.
It's like unbelievable.
Art Taylor had a great fast.
Art Taylor did, definitely had, yeah. Very clean.
Oh,
See, now you talk about him. That's somebody who's very articulate. Every note that he plays, you would hear every note.
AT,
That
yeah.
he played. AT is every note.
Badass.
I'm like, man, he's something else, man.
Yeah, on the Giant Steps record.
It's killing. And his sound.
Yeah.
I met him, man. We were on a festival together. And he seemed like a man of few words. He was like, real, he would watch me play. He was, sound good, young man.
You're probably like waiting, like.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
and I was like this, trying to calm down.
Right.
I had all those guys who come and watch me play. I've seen a lot of them would come up, I remember I played at Carnegie Hall once, years ago with a trio. With me and Joey DeFrancesco played piano and Christian McBride played bass.
Oh, wow.
And a trumpet player named Ryan Kaiser. And I remember playing, and then I look over there and it's like Jack Deschanette checking me.
Oh, my
And he
God.
comes up, hey man, how you doing, man? It's like, my name is Jack Deschanette, nice to meet you. I said, I know who you are.
Yeah.
He's
Did
like,
you see him when you were playing?
No, I was like almost finished when I looked
Oh, okay.
Like, oh,
Oh,
man.
my God. Yeah.
But I've had him, I had Elvin watch me. Roy Higgins always comes out to see me. I'm like, oh man. I have to think my dad is sitting out there watching me. It's like,
That's awesome, Byron.
Tootie Heath, all them guys are like, hey Byron, don't mess up.
That's awesome, man.
Those guys, those heroes, that's what it's about too. We definitely have a brotherhood, man. It's about sharing something special. It transcends all our beliefs about, politics and all that other nonsense.
Yeah, man.
It's just spirit, man, and share the love of music.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Now, where were we?
Teaching in Temple.
Okay. I know you can go ahead me here. That program has grown so much. Like, I know they just renovated Presser Hall maybe 4 years ago. They added on, they extended it. And still there's no rooms. There's no space. All these kids come and they want to study. For the state of music, it's good to have young people that are interested.
Yeah.
It's just that I want to remind some of them that you truly have to be a fan of the music and love the music and not be so much, so much me. When you come out to support music, support it wholeheartedly. Don't just come and stand in the corner with a notepad,
Agreed. Yeah. Now, are you teaching one-on-one?
I teach one-on-one. I'm doing no ensembles. I've been teaching one-on-one. And I usually have like anywhere from 4 to 8 students per semester. The ensemble thing, that's possible, but that's a little bit too much work for me now, I think. Mm-hmm. And I think that for what I do, one-on-one is probably the best for them because, the other teachers there, I teach more from a philosophical standpoint and a concept standpoint. Like a lot of the things we were talking about, discussing today. And I really focus on their timekeeping and on learning music and really learning pieces of material and getting inside of it, really being able to open it up and to support it. And really it's difficult when you just have drums. If you got somebody really has you focusing on the song, playing drums, it's truly difficult without, you find out how much more you lean on other band members. You should, it's like being in the studio. When you're in the studio and, you recorded something, and the engineer says, wait a minute, he takes everybody's tracks out and just listens to the drum track, you should hear a full piece of music in that. It should have, some color in it. It should have dynamics in it. It shouldn't be, you can't play one level, So I'm really trying to get them to focus on not playing one way. Mm-hmm. And to really, certain harmonies and certain chord changes suggest certain sounds. Mm-hmm. To really focus on your sound and your feeling,
That's another thing Danny Glass taught me too, was like you were talking about, like, as drummers, we get stuck in drummer world, drummer land.
Absolutely.
Where we're like over there counting like a mathematician, where we got to think about melody
Melody
and
thing.
touch and groove and like that's where it's at. Those are the drummers that are gonna get the gigs.
Because exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, if you don't make anybody feel good, I don't care how flashy you are, how much chops you got. I mean, you may be able to wow, you can fool plenty of people, but you can't fool all the people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
People are looking for, they're soul searching. And I've heard like some examples of that. It's like somebody told me about a great drummer, I won't say any names, but doing a clinic and played all this stuff. And then stopped and somebody said, now what? It's so important, just focusing on the sound, your sound. First of all, I think there's not enough of this being applied today to students. Like nobody's really teaching them to develop your sound.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
that's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Music is about the sound. If you don't have a distinctive sound, your touch, your feel, that's what makes you you. I mean, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
It's like, and you think about like the music. If you go back in the '60s, you think about, for instance, take piano players, take Herbie Hancock, take McCoy Tyner, Oscar Peterson, all those guys, all those drummers, Elvin. They all had certain things you hear right away. That's him. You know it's that's Elvin. I hear that boom boom.
Yeah.
That's Max. That's Art Blake. I know. These kids don't have. Everybody tries to sound like each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, work on. That's what I told my kids. If anything, when you practice, you should devote a little bit of your time to break it up. Work on sounds. Work on your sound. Work on your soloing. Work on soloing in time, like a bebop solo. Work on playing free. Work on playing just colors. It's about the sounds, not so much. Everything doesn't have to be so symmetrical all the time.
Mm-hmm. That's great. That's great advice. And on that, let's hear you cut loose.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, cut loose.
Yeah. so
My
much.
pleasure.
So we're wrapping up here with the great, legendary Byron Landham. Thank you so much for watching.
And you can follow me at www.byronwookielandham.com. It's the official website of my whereabouts, my bio, all my information. It's www.byronwookielandham.com. Peace.
Thanks, kids.